Hello there, my name is Richard. The first time you see my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, or something completely random. And today I do once a month that segment of forgotten cartoons. This segment I only focus on series that only lasted 1 to 2 seasons, maybe 3, depends how popular it really is, but only focus on one that sort of kind of was forgotten. They didn't give them enough attention, or something about them just didn't work with other people. Those type of cartoons I like to really talk about. But there are also other anime series were super popular but never here in the United States, with a different country like Canada, Mexico, or China, or whatever country you like to think, but never went here in the United States. And those are shows I was okay to talk about, but especially only for this segment. All of that, today I'm gonna focus on Science Court. It's one of those cartoons, it's sort of interesting what it's made for. It's educational comedy type of drama show, but it's not a detective original show. It's not really for one guy or one girl who are very smart and you just see their case. No, this is correctly straight to Law and Order science situations that he's only focused on the court. And that itself is kind of different. I mean, there have been a lot of detective cartoons and also detective anime, but none of them really want to delve into a Law and Order, because if you know anything to making a film or a show, making sort of a Law and Order show is really hard, especially the angles, because you could research or hear some people doing those type of shows says one of the biggest complaints making this type of shows is sort of how you should film it, animation wise or live action, because it's really hard. Even if you have a good script, you don't really get it right. It's something you have to sort of constantly work. Of course, it works maybe as a TV show, but better be easier. But even that, they had to write sort of flashbacks or something like that just to make it passable, something you get entertained, because usually this type of kind of programming is all about dialogue. And I'm sort of fascinated what they did there in cartoon form, because in cartoon form you do anything's possible. You just need to be creative, and that is sort of interesting what to do, something that's so simple that should be belong to live action but decided to in animation, especially with the company who made homemade movies and Dr. Cat, because those shows are recognized. They're all about dialogue. He also did animation, because the animation company who made this is Tom Sudden Productions, and they're usually known for swivel vision, that sort of cheap, kind of low resolution animation that I'm not disrespecting it. I respect it, because you have to be very confident on your writing skills and very confident of you how you direct your voice actors and the charm of the show, because remember, this is the same company who made Dr. Cat and homemade movies. Both two series were amazing, funny, and just very clever, bringing it on to a case court. And you know what? It works, because it's kind of hard to make something like this even work, because I'm trying to search any anime or Chinese anime or French animation, because if you don't know the French are kicking your ass, because they come up with different animations, different point of views, different something. Even they can come up with something new of a Law and Order sort of animation, because it's sort of limited. You have to be clever. Yeah, I was surprised this is the only one next to Falcon, whatever that game is. It made an anime. Even that is sort of not as good as this one, because they rely on sort of the basic Law and Order. You have a case, you follow them, and you follow the people who have that sort of incident and debate about it. But I love it, they take their time with it. It's something that you get to know the characters and who they are. Big face, all the characters are not fully developed. Only maybe the lawyers and the judge, the jury, and maybe some the assistant and the special guest to sort of explain the science. They have a lot of characters, but most of them, especially the young children, are basically just expedition type of characters. They explain what this is and how it works, but usually focus on the two main lawyers and their arguments. Now, one of the lawyers called Doug Savage. Savage is basically not a good lawyer. He's sort of incompetent, but once in a while, this guy can actually be a lawyer. He knows what he's talking about, but sometimes he sort of means read some things or understand something, or think of it something a different way that doesn't really make sense in the science. But at the same time, the guy is very confident. Even you think he's sort of shady, lazy, cocky, or even trying not to read the full dialogue of the information, the guy is very confident and very weird and goofy. It's the type of character you like to call a sleazeball, a lawyer, but year in end, he is a very competent. In fact, it's one episode he almost won. Usually he doesn't win any cases, but Doug is the type of character you want to see win because he's just so likable, so charming, so slimy. He's just like, oh yes. Especially that time he almost won. I was like, what? What? No, he didn't. It was a sort of dream, but it was really close. Even the showrunners made a lot of jokes about that episode that we wanted him to win, but at the end, that's not a good idea because Doug is used to be the bad sort of person you should not follow, especially sort of scientific purposes. But once more, it's a character you really do enjoy because Doug do steals the whole scene, the whole show most of the time. Now you also have the other lawyer called Allison, the other lawyer. She basically the defender of any other Savage case. That Allison is her describer. She's stoic, smart, and sometimes challenged with Savage because she is stoic, but she does has a personality. She always tried to be the best. But with Savage, she sometimes break back sort of mode and become a little childish sometimes. And those are the moments I feel she will probably realize, but the one does this a little bit in the series. I kind of like that every time Savage and Alice just bicker, but once more, it's just very little in the series. I kind of wish they put a little bit more because that emphasis, that sort of rivalry they have, is the point that was the show was really fun. Now, our next character called Judge Stone. She's the judge and basically judges everybody, but she does have a sort of personality. That personality is like, I'm kind of tired, just can you hurry up? Or that's sort of impatient, but at the same time kind of chill, like I don't really need to be here, but this is my job, you know why, blah blah blah. But what's more, she has some moments to be kind of funny. And you also have Fred, the secretary slash guard in the whole case court, that he is basically a simpleton. He's not a moron, he's just easy to kind of trick, but also kind of charming his own way, his own little commentary. And after that, that's basically the four main characters in the series, because the rest of the characters are just there for expedition type or sort of conversation with the other main characters to give the case more interesting onwards, or the allegations, or whatever you want to call it. But at the very end, this series is sort of impressive because you can easily just make a scientific science cartoon without no personality, and that stuff could be really boring. But no, Science Court took this the most realistic, funniest, and more outrageous way you can, because this show tried to make you laugh all the time. Even the voice actors that I 100% sure does the same thing the other series, that they write a script but they don't write in detail. They just write this is a situation, this is the thing you said, just to let the voice actors ad-lib. You don't know what that means? It's basically just talk about it, you add things completely random, talking funny, but try not to go away that far, just come back with the subject matter you're trying to say. And that's what it show sort of feels like, but not as much as home movies. Home movies does that a lot. Even Dr. Cat does also, but this one I feel is a little bit more restricted, but at the same time give it a little wiggle room for the actors to play around with it to make the comedy so much fun. They also have a lot of little random comedy here and there, like something like the background that someone asks, close the door, you have like a dinosaur hand or a robot hand. For some apparent reason, they never explain why they have random things reappear. Even the not side characters, the background characters, if the conversations bore you, they always a joke behind them. That's sort of innuendo joke or something completely different just to throw you up to make you wake up, because this show always try to entertain you. It never really fails, especially the sort of drama he has. I mean, this series, they take themselves serious to make you interesting, show you the sort of the scientific problem right in front of you. I think one of the big example is a famous person went to a bike cycle to get a bike, also a ball. To see them, he's there. But the only problem is the ball kept hitting him, so he decided to sue the owner. But there is sort of interesting because the famous person and the person who owns the store know each other, used to be bully and victim, and the science court do point out having this type of information extra changed the whole case. And you don't know this is a vengeance or a trick to or take vengeance of the person who bought the bike. And that in itself make it a little bit more realistic. You have little moments there like, yeah, that's kind of possible. And that's what I enjoy. They always trying to make it a little bit more interesting or a little bit more realistic for a sort of cartoonish Law and Order sort of situation, because you do care about some of the characters, something you don't, depends how they write the character. And also, I thought it's super fascinating. They bring old characters back. That characters that only showed up one episode, they came back not because he's getting sued. It's because he's the plumber. We saw the season 3 or episode whatever. He came back, but he's not the problem person. He's just there to help out or talk to someone, and that's sort of interesting because the show rewards you. If you've seen the series, you see other characters before and you know what they are, you understand the chemistry, you're about to have so much fun. And that is a plus. They never needed to go that hard, that charming, that creative, but they did. Especially this whole series is all about just learning. In fact, many people online say, I remember this from 5th, 6th, 8th, maybe 4th and 5th grade, because this is a type of show they use for science class to understand how science works. And actually, I found about this cartoon by ABC Family or ABC Disney Family, who bought the rights of ABC. Yeah, I used to watch this in Saturday morning cartoons. In fact, it's one of those cartoons I woke up super early just to watch this show because how much I enjoyed, loved it, dedicated I was watching this, because I just love, especially I kind of didn't like science. It's the only show that actually made me care about science, interested in the scientific facts and how you use the scientific ways. Once more, this show is a big soft spot in my heart. Now I have this question: do you see this cartoon? You forgot it, you still remember, you still have that special spot for it like me? Tell me down below, let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.